Yeah, it's Double H here, Double H, the big man, right here again, back in the smackaroonie. Yeah, Black Swan, Black Swan. I mean, it's actually been a few days since I've watched Black Swan. Now, but and for me, that's why I'm calling this the first viewing of Black Swan because I feel like this is a film that I need to see on a second viewing. Um, but I just because I didn't even want to do a review of this. I wanted to do a review after my second viewing. But I thought, you know what? Let me give my thoughts on the first viewing of Black Swanage. Obviously, going into this, always, I'm a big Aronofsky fan, because of his creativity and all that kind of stuff. But also, this is the guy that's doing Wolverine. So I was doing a bit of research here. Um, so yeah, going into Black Swan, I was like, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, what's this going to be about? Um, and it's like coming out of it. My first impression was that was extremely messed up, twisted, mad, crazy, but very, very. There was a lot of creativity within there. There was. It was. I mean, I would class this really as, in a sense, a stylized horror movie. I think that's also probably be the best way for me to start. That's be the best way to I'd describe this kind of film. Like it's a stylized horror film, you know, and I think literally, from like halfway through, you're pretty much on the edge of your seat. Okay, let me just pull out a very basic plot from what I got from the film because again, I don't really read too much stuff. I don't really look at too many trailers. I like to go in the film fully natural, so I don't really look at a lot of featurettes. So, this film is obviously about a ballet dancer played by Natalie Portman, and she's obviously part of this kind of like ballet group. So obviously good enough to be part of this ballet group, and she is um, she is vying to basically become the White Swan and the Black Swan in the very famous stage production called Swan Lake with the music from Tchaikovsky. So and Swan Lake is a thing I've always heard about it because of how popular it is. I've not seen it before because it's not like a thing, but it's something I've always heard of before. And when she's there, she is trying to obviously, and also I think the head of this production is a chap by the name of Vincent Cassel. And obviously, at the beginning of the movie, we see because obviously this is not a spoiler. At the beginning of this movie, we see someone with Winona Ryder, and she was, I believe, the White Swan or the Black Swan. Basically, she was the lead, like the main star of this thing before, but she's like an also basically out of the old, i.e. Winona Ryder, in with the new Natalie Portman. But really the main juice of this whole thing is Natalie Portman is competing with Mila Kunis for this lead part, and there's quite an aggressive competition, but also there's some weird stuff that's put in there, and I don't really want to put that in the figures because I think that will ruin the film for y'all. Um, so yeah, I think that I mean, obviously that's the basis to, but again, like the way the film unravels, I mean, there are a lot of shocking stuff in this film. I mean, let me just put that out there. There's a lot of extreme stuff in this film, and a lot of stuff that will make you go, "Whoa!" I mean, there are things in this film that will force you to have a reaction to it, And I think, I mean, because I've been thinking of it for a long time, talking to people about it, seeing people's views about it, and I mean, for me, even from this first viewing I had of this film, the directing is amazing. I mean, I've really felt that Aronofsky, because for me, I mean, the wrestler for me, like as a film, I didn't actually like the film of the wrestler. Just that Mickey Rock just gave such an amazing performance, but as a film, I thought, no, this is not an Aronofsky film. I mean, what the hell is this? But it seems like if we did something now back to what Aronofsky gives, because I mean, for me, if I'm going to the cinema to watch an Aronofsky film, I expect something. I expect Aronofsky to give me something that no the director gives me. Like if I'm watching a Tim Burton film, Burton gives me what nobody else gives me. If I'm going to watch a Ridley Scott film or a Tarantino film, or a Spielberg film, these guys are giving me something that like nobody else gives me. So that's why I'm paying to go and watch them. I'm paying to go and watch their movies because of what they bring, you know, um, in a unique sense to their artwork. So yeah, so really for this, I mean, it's like the directing was amazing. I mean, the level of tension, like literally, I think from halfway through, you are just really, really tense. You're really, really tense, and just how he creates the atmosphere, how he just creates the mood, you know, when you're just like, when you're in, the Nana Sportsman's room, her interactions with her mother. And for me, I think the crazy thing, and I was even talking about this, was that, when this was announced, I was like, okay, bam, okay, Aronofsky is not doing a new film, so I wonder what this is going to be about. And I said, ballet. I was like, what? Is this guy mad? Ballet? I was like, oh, Lord. And for me, I was like, okay, X you know. And then obviously when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is interesting. But I think that, because I read on IMDb that, like, when the story was first put out, it was actually going to be based on theater to begin with, and the competition of people in theater. And it was Aronofsky who changed it to ballet. And I think that was a great thing to change it to ballet, because again, with even before watching this film, of what I know of ballet stories, I've heard very dark stories. I've heard of like the Olympics with Russian competitors in Olympics, and the whole vibe and the discipline required for ballet, and the obsessiveness of the sport of the discipline of there's a lot of competition there, and there's a lot of rivalry there, because obviously it is really predominantly a female sport, and obviously with females, there's always, in any female institution, there's always going to be a lot of rivalry and a lot of beef and a lot of psychology, and I think that ballet was a master stroke by Aronofsky, because it's, you just felt, especially with the way Natalie Portman and the other people, the way they were like, doing those moves, doing those spins, and how Vincent Cassel was really forcing them to really get those moves right. It just, felt like if ballet was the right thing to do. And I was, just, when you just see some of the shots when having had to like basically spin around on her foot, and you saw the kind of damage it was doing to her, and you saw how hard she was trying to basically get these moves, and you were drawn into this whole ballet thing. And I think, it is credit to Aronofsky that, he actually, even though, look, man, okay, I don't give a damn about ballet, okay, I'll never do ballet, okay, you're not gonna get Double H wearing those tight trousers, okay, because, okay, I respect my privates, okay, I don't want my privates to be crushed, okay, but, that being said, he made me appreciate ballet on a level, and appreciate the kind of detail, the attention to detail that ballet has, and just how it is, it's like an art form, it's about feeling it, and it's about really, it's like, when you watch basically Michael Jackson dancing, the choreography is not really, it's not about getting the moves right, it's about feeling the moves, it's about feeling the moves. And I think, Aronofsky really put that across very, very well, but I mean, let me talk about the performances out there, because I mean, people have been talking a lot about, Natalie Portman. She won the Golden Globe, and she's probably favorites to win the BAFTAs and the Oscars as well. So I think that really she she did very well. I mean, look, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she did very well. You really felt that this woman was obsessed. I mean, and I think that was the key thing about her character, was a psychotic, unhealthy obsession with getting this part, being the white swan and the black swan. And you really felt that she was boom, that she really was wanting to get this thing. But I mean, she was good. I mean, she wasn't like amazing. It's not like a wow, this is like a all-conquering performance of all time, but it was good. I mean, she really got the character well, and I really, understood her character. Her character felt real, and she really got the whole thing of like, man, this woman is messed up. This woman is messed up. And obviously, when you see the film and you see the kind of stuff that's happening in the film, you really, as a problem, really sells the fact that yeah, she's pretty messed up. But yeah, she was good. She was good. Mila Kunis, my dear friend Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis, me and we go way back. I think she's from that 70s show, I think. Book of Eli. I felt that, she was one of the main weak points of Book of Eli. I didn't know why she was cast, and I thought that, Kirsten Stewart should have been even cast in her place because she was up for the role in Book of Eli. And in this film as well, I was like, nah. I mean, really, no. I mean, it's like, the role that she was supposed to play, the role of her rival, she didn't really come across as a rival to me personally, and I felt that, they could have picked someone better for the role, someone that could have really, brought the required energy to that role, the required antithesis to Nancy Portman's character, and Mila Kunis just didn't really give that. She does not exude, that edge, that darkness, that's zinc, that thing that really says, oh man, this woman, she's really competing with Nancy Portman. I didn't really feel that. Vincent Cassel, obviously, from La Haine and what's it called, Eastern Promises. I thought he was good. I thought he was really, really good in this. I thought that he played the character really well. He's very sexualized, very European, up himself kind of guy. I thought he played the character very, very well. And I believe in his character, and I thought that just his character worked very well, and I think he really understood what this guy was about. And he played him very well. But I thought that really the best character I thought in this was the mother. And she didn't really have that big a role, but, every time I saw her, like, I was uneasy, she made me feel uneasy, and I was like, God, like, what did she do? And like, just the way that she would just stare at Nancy Portman, she wouldn't even say anything, and you just see her eyes, I don't know, it was just her eyes and her expression. I was like, my God, she's like some kind of demon from Mars or something like that, So yeah, man, I was like, so I mean, really, the performances in this, they were all good. They were all good performances in this, and for me, again, it's like, when I was watching the first movie, I just thought some of the stuff was very extreme. Some of the stuff was really, really extreme, and there were some horrific bits. Look, I'm not a guy that likes the whole jumpy stuff, but I mean, maybe again, that's why I say that this was my first viewing of it. I want to just say this is my first viewing. I found the stuff like maybe a bit too extreme, maybe a bit too much. But again, as I think about it, and maybe when I watch it again, maybe the stuff will make a lot more sense. But that being said, for me, the real star of this was the directing. I feel that this is definitely one of Aronofsky's best. Obviously, I still rate, I rate Pi over this, but I think maybe after Pi, this is probably Aronofsky's second best film. After Pi. For me, like, I felt that the script, it was all right. It did what it did, but I felt that I think they could have elaborated more on the character, elaborated more on the competition, elaborated more on the dichotomy between Natalie Portman and Kunis's character, developed that a lot more. But that's like a mini gripe. It wasn't a glaring mishap. But for me, I think that the bit I remember the most, for me, the best bit of this whole film is the last 15 minutes of the film. When they do the show, and you just see, what Nancy Portman does, but just how it's filmed. I mean, the lighting, how everything is just set up. It just feels so amazing. And this just shows that, man, honestly, this guy, he is really, I mean, at 40 something years old, I feel that he's really Hollywood's bright hope. Because he's that kind of guy who, he can handle dialogue, he can handle characters, but he can also give you images. He can give you powerful imagery. And there are very few directors that can do that. Either you have the directors who are very good at the dialogue and the characters, or the guys who are just amazing at the imagery. But I think this guy is rare because he can give you images that you've never really seen before, and just create stuff that makes you go, wow, how did they do that? But also he understands characters, he understands how to do a scene, he understands how to do drama, and for me, that's why what makes him, he's extremely rare. And I think that people should, maybe they are the beginnings with this film, but I think that you should really appreciate the kind of talent this man has, And I think that, because obviously he mentioned something that, every film is made, he's the only guy wanting to make it because all these idiots in Hollywood and in movies just want to remake comics and graphic novels and all that crap, But I feel that if there's one guy who you should pretty much give, because for me, like, I saw The Fountain, man. Okay, yes, The Fountain is messed up. Yeah, it is effed up. Okay, The Fountain, it is messed up, but there's some flipping amazing stuff in that film, And even after seeing this film, that film is not a waste of time. Okay, Antichrist by Von Trier, that's a waste of time and a waste of money, a waste of my time, a waste of your time, and a waste of his time, and a waste of their time. That's what Antichrist is. But something like The Fountain, yes, the film is a bit wonky and a bit weird, but for me, no, that's not a waste of time. For me, that is still something of value, and there was some pretty amazing stuff in that film, And so I think that if there's one guy who you should give a chance to, and go out on a limb for, and take a risk with, it's Aronofsky, because the guy is a guy who is really pushing the envelope. I mean, I don't know what happened with The Wrestler. I mean, it just seemed a bit standard. But with Pi, Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, Black Swan, these are all films that have really pushed the cinematic envelope. So yeah, man, I think that again, from this, I think the big win of this was Aronofsky, and I think he's just shown that the guy is a big name. He's a really, really big name, and I look forward to see what he does with the Wolverine.